So week 4 of Clair Obscur. This week felt comforting at times, but also challenging. Some evenings the game really helped me relax after a long day. It's starting to feel like a ritual, just sitting down, hearing the intro music and settling into it. Other sessions though pushed back hard. They tested my patience and forced me to slow down and pay closer attention. It wasn't a smooth week of just steady progress. It was messy and frustrating at times. But it also taught me that the game must have my full attention, because otherwise it's going to cause problems. This week the party met Monoco. He's a gestural who takes parts off of the Nevrons and uses them to fight. Verso convinced him to come to Old Lumiere by promising plenty of fights. Mael helped with this decision, which made it feel again like she's been here before. Old Lumiere felt empty and lifeless. Everything looked dull, except for the glowing golden swords, similar to the Lamp Masters. Once we arrived, the group got split up. Lune learned something about Verso which clearly bothered her, and then after a fight, Verso suddenly disappeared. The doubts I had about Verso started to feel stronger. During the week I got the chance to play with my son, so we moved from the desk to the sofa to share the screen, and that completely messed up my timing. At my monitor, I beat Renoir first try. On the TV, I couldn't get near him. Again, it really showed how much your setup can affect how you play, and after beating him, man was there a huge story reveal. Renoir is Verso's father. Alice, the white-haired girl in the mask who was burned by accident, is his sister, and somehow Mael is connected to them. Maybe family, maybe something to do with Exposition Zero. At this point, I've just stopped guessing. This game just surprises me every time I play it. Verso led us to Renoir's mansion because that's where the Paintress's heart is. That made Mael seem even more suspicious. Then another option came up. Instead of going through the mansion, we could forge a weapon to break the barrier. But to do that, we need to kill massive creatures called Axons. Verso thinks this is a waste of time. So of course, I tried anyway. My first attempt at an Axon was rough. The first phase was okay, the second phase though felt almost unfair. It could exhaust you before even attacking, it had heavy shields, it got extra turns. Honestly, it felt like the game was stacked against me. 2 days later, I realised I'd been an idiot. If I would have just listened when we got onto the island and gone ahead and killed the skulls first, I would have known that taking them out one by one would have made the fight so much easier. This made sense, but me being me, I didn't listen. The rematch wasn't easy, but at least this time it felt fair. Monoco's skill wheel was one of my favourite new mechanics. It's fun and gives you lots of options, but I wish I had more Nevron abilities to really make the most of it. His skills also cost a lot of AP, so getting parries and dodges right is really important. The fight with Renoir also made me change the way I play. My usual plan of just setting enemies on fire didn't work for me this time. I had to focus more on timing my parries and using counters properly, but the Axon fight humbled me the most. I had to use Mael just to break the shields. There was no way around it, and it's simply because I ignored a detail the game gave me, and this mistake cost me a whole session. The game isn't unfair, it just expects you to pay attention, and when I finally did, it rewarded me so. Verso feels more complex every week. Finding out that Renoir is his father changes how I see him. It explains why he's so driven, so secretive, and so sure that the expedition can work, especially now that he has Mael with him. Maybe he thinks Expedition 58 failed because she wasn't there. Maybe he's using the group for his own reasons. Maybe it's both. There is also the chance that Mael is connected to Expedition Zero, or even directly to Verso's family. That makes everything feel more tense. At this point, I've stopped trying to guess what's coming next. The game clearly likes to surprise you. Still, even though Verso said going after the Axons was pointless, the group proved him wrong. Even if the odds are tiny, it's still worth trying. Strangely this week, it wasn't a boss fight that stuck with me. It was realising that I wasn't really frustrated because the Axon was hard. I was frustrated because I wasn't listening. As soon as I reached the island, it hinted at the solution, and then I just ignored it. When I watched the footage back, it was embarrassing. The game had clearly told me what to do. I just didn't pay attention. That realisation hit me harder than the second phase ever could. I'm not frustrated, but I'm not overly excited either. I'm just relieved. Relieved that the systems make sense when I actually pay attention, relieved that the difficulty isn't random, and relieved that when the game feels harsh, it's likely that I'm getting in my own way. This week also taught me that sitting down, listening to the intro music and letting myself settle into it is becoming just as important as making progress. This week reminded me that patience matters in fights, in the story, and in how we play overall. Until next week, we continue.